Test, check. Testing microphone. Can you see? Microphone. Hello, brothers and sisters. My name is Cameron, and today I'm going to address a awesome comment that I have received on one of my videos. I'm going to post that right here. But basically, it was asking me my opinion on the ban of Jehovah's Witnesses in Russia. And I paused for a little while. You know, I knew things were going on and things were going that way. And I try not to give my commentary and thoughts on too many things, but I ended up getting that comment and a couple of emails, and it just came up in conversation with other ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that I know, and I thought, why not chime in and give some added thought to that? Give my opinion. So, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it, and I just want to open the floor and not come at it as an argumentative way. This is just how I feel, and I feel that I have some really valid points to kind of share. So growing up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses myself, I spent over 2 decades with no choice. I wasn't given the choice to join. I was born into it. My mother, if you watch my main video, you can learn more about that story. And I get comments and emails every once in a while wanting to understand a little bit more of that and how that works. And I probably will go into that a little bit more because I feel that sharing my personal story is able, from the comments that I receive, is helping people. So people like Jehovah's Witnesses, groups like Jehovah's Witnesses, don't give informed consent when you join. It's actually deceptive recruitment. People are deceptively recruited, and Jehovah's Witnesses say that they're there to study the Bible, but they're recruiting others into this destructive group without really knowing it, and that they're a part of one, which is really scary. If you think about it, you know, there's many groups, and in Jehovah's Witnesses in particular, one of the main attractions to them and several other religions is that people think oh wow, these people really do study the Bible. But knowing this now that I'm out of the Jehovah's Witness religion, that their Jehovah's Witness Bible has been highly, highly adapted to the Jehovah's Witness fairy tale. Ray Franz confirms this. There's many other Jehovah's Witness channels that confirm this. Some of my favorites. Hopefully I don't make anyone angry by mentioning the name John Cedars. Whether you agree with him or you don't, his were some of the first videos that I allowed myself mentally to watch on YouTube. And whether you're for him or not for him, a few of my ex-Jehovah's Witness friends and YouTubers agree that you can't deny the work that he's done. And he's probably the most popular YouTuber out there that's activist related. That's a Jehovah's Witness activist. And he's probably the most popular, so his videos have a lot of reach. He wasn't the only one. There was a lot of other YouTubers that were involved in my early awakening. But I've watched his video on the ban on Jehovah's Witnesses, and I kind of agree and I kind of don't disagree. So it'd be fun to go into that. So because the Jehovah's Witness Bible, that the New World Translation that Christians, even Jewish theologians, nobody agrees on is accurate, or valid. The Jehovah's Witnesses, the governing body rather, Watchtower, preach that this is a very valid Bible, and you feel when you're in that room, from some of the other churches that I've been to out of curiosity, it can be deceptively look like extremely educational, and that you're learning a great deal. And growing up in that, Jehovah's Witnesses, as a child, I feel like my childhood was robbed from me. And this is what groups like the Jehovah's Witnesses do, is because of ideas of Armageddon and phobias that they put into your head, corporal punishment if you're not paying attention and acting like an adult from a very early age. Kids are expected to act like little adults, and they're physically hit or smacked or spanked or abused, like I was growing up, if they don't pay perfect attention during the meetings when you're growing up. So you know nothing else. I knew nothing else until about, this point in time of making this video, maybe about 8 to 10 months ago, I just barely awoke to a lot of the lies that the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses teach, or rather Watchtower, the governing body. If you take the religious part out of Jehovah's Witnesses and then start comparing them to other groups like Scientology, the Moonies, like Steve Hassan. Hey, Steve, if you're watching, what's up? You've been a huge help, etc. You take all the religion out of those groups and look at their practices and policies, it's oddly similar to each other. Look at it from a psychological point, and the destructive policies, practices, and cult-like behaviors are blatant. And I don't agree with groups that exist like that, especially the ones that try to destroy people's lives if a member decides they don't want to be that anymore, or maybe they're growing up and like a good friend of mine found out he was gay. And you can't be gay in many of those groups. And I already knew this as a whole, but growing up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I didn't really kind of turn around and look at everything else, including ourselves, as being a cult. But it's not just religion. This is society. Groups with money, power-hungry men and women in religion and outside of religion, politics, crazy nonprofits, a controlling boyfriend or a controlling girlfriend can all have cult-like behaviors. Jehovah's Witnesses have a lot in common with North Korea. I was just watching some North Korean survivor videos the other day, and I was like, oh my God, all the things that they were saying were very relatable, even though I think they're definitely one of the higher dictatorship cults out there. So in that sense, yeah, I don't think groups like that should have policies inside them that are so extreme to exist in the first place. But we all know that high control groups like Jehovah's Witnesses have a fear-based behavior impact that they teach their members. So one of the many scriptures that they misuse is Mark chapter 13, verses 13. And please feel free to look that up. The reason why I reference that scripture, it's one of many, but I reference that scripture in particular because it gets right to the point. If we go ahead and ban them like the Russians have in Russia, they'll end up thinking that the end of the world is coming, just as it was prophesied as they preached to their own groups from the New World Translation of the Bible. So it's a double-edged sword. If we go and ban them worldwide, yeah, I think a lot of people will wake up. But I also know, growing up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I was taught to expect like Mark chapter 13, expect that to happen, to know that that was going to happen, and that was a sign of the prophecy coming true. Actually, here's a little screenshot of somebody that I know who recently went to an assembly, and what they're having their members do right now at the assemblies is write letters to Russia complaining about the ban. And as you know, there's almost 8.5 million Jehovah's Witnesses at the time of this recording. That's a lot of letters being written by Jehovah's Witnesses that the governing body is having sent out. So it's, like I said, the ban, it's only going to encourage the majority of the brainwashed members to think that, the new system is around the corner, because look at this, for example, the world is starting to turn its back against Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's going to be the only group that's saved. Or if you're, a Scientologist, or you're part of the Church of God, or whatever it is, because there's tons of cults out there, you're going to think that the prophecy is coming true, because in these high control groups, they teach their members that it's us versus the world. There's only us on the good side and versus the entire world and Satan, or whatever demonic phobia that they're able to put in people's heads and brainwash them. Now, on the other side of the fence is, I believe that people have the right to believe really weird beliefs. If someone, for example, if they have really odd beliefs, like maybe they should poop in the wind at noon o'clock every day because their poop hits the wind at the right angle and it makes their spiritual connection with God even closer, go for it. Or if they just want to be called Mickey Mouse instead of their real name, have fun. Have that belief. And then the other side is when people are put under deceptive recruiting techniques and they're under undue influence themselves, and they're entered into a life at the hands of a destructive cult, and that cults are more common in society. In fact, the majority of society aren't even aware that a lot of these big popular religions are cults. So we're left with a few options. I thought it would be fun to weigh these out. Jehovah's Witnesses, if we ban them, they're going to continue to tell their members that Satan is attacking, and they're going to leave out the reasons why. They're just, Satan's being mean, he's attacking us, prophecy's coming true, stay strong in your faith. And that's going to have a backwards effect. That's what is going to happen and what is happening right now. Some of my friends right now, I can't even talk to them. They won't talk to me because elders are probably telling them not to, and they think that, you know, Satan is under attack. And how could you have questions in your faith when Satan is attacking our poor dear brothers in Russia? And like I said earlier, as someone who's spent over 2 decades in the Jehovah's Witness cult, the majority of my life was given to this destructive cult, having lost my friends, having lost my family, lost my childhood, and being treated now as a friend of Satan without even given a chance to explain myself why I decided not to come back. And having to start my life over, find support, make new friends, learn how to survive, how to figure out my life, gone to college, which is something that I'm considering now. Having to learn how to date and how to make real friends. Even though it's been extremely painful, I wouldn't change it. I think the only thing that I would change is waking up earlier in my life than I have now. I think most people would agree with me. If you've waken up to some of the BS that's happening, waking up earlier would be one of the things that you would change. Otherwise, you know, it's given me a new sense of purpose. My chains are broken. I have freedom of thought, freedom to be myself and to be happy and to understand that the things that I was given as phobias to think about were actually totally fine. I'm free to choose the person I choose to become. And I'm so thankful for that. It makes me happy every day. Even when life is crazy sometimes, I think about that and it helps me get right on track with my positive thinking. And along the way, I can help many of you, which is the reason why I started this YouTube channel. So that not only get some words and feelings off of my shoulders, but also share the experience with some of you guys. So we have a handful of other options on the positive side. So the negative side, ban them, get rid of them, which giving their destructive behaviors and the amount of people that they've murdered because of not accepting blood transfusions and the lives that they destroy and the childhoods that are taken away and the sexual abuse and the amount of how deep the rabbit hole goes. It just keeps going. There's a lot of negative things. So yeah, we could ban them, but there's other positive things. What can we do besides banning them? Because we now know the repercussions. We ban them, they're brainwashed, they're only going to think the end is coming, make their faith stronger. Left with a handful of things. My main 3 that I like is education, which is what I'm doing right now. If you feel compelled to speak, educate yourself and please speak out. That's what I have as a challenge for the viewers out there. If you have a webcam or a cell phone or a nice camera, pull it out, practice. You grew up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. You were probably knocking on doors or giving public talks at some point or raising your hand at meetings. I have confidence and faith in you that you have the power to do what I'm doing. Educate and speak. The more people we have talking, the better. And since our governments aren't educating people, we the people have to do it. And in some cases, it's not really a government's place to educate people and tell them what to and what to not to believe. We already have that. If you look at anywhere in the world, at any government that you're from, whether you're from America like I am, or you're from the UK or France or Brazil or Mexico or Australia, there's pros and cons to every government that you're a part of. And that's why educating yourself and educating others is huge. Another option that we can do, the second one, my favorite, is expose. And we can do this in a friendly manner. So I always tell people that learn about my story, if they know anyone who is starting to have doubts in their faith or religion, particularly Jehovah's Witnesses or certain faiths that are very similar, contact me. I'm willing to help. I'm willing to talk to them and be there as a resource, to take my own time and my own energy to help that person, which is another reason why I make these videos, because I can't always be available all the time, but I can redirect them to resources and other XJW videos or websites that can help them grow and gain control of their own life and critical thinking and all that wonderful things. So help expose. If you know someone, or if there's a project or a cause that you can fight for like this, since it's so near and dear to probably your heart too, get out there, help expose it, and be friendly about it. I highly encourage that, even though there are times where I can get extremely angry about all the things that happened to me growing up and all that was taken away. I realize that coming off angry and pissed, there's a time and place for that. For the majority of the time, it's not. because I know how it will look to current JW members or other religious members or people out in general who have no idea how cults are. Just coming off as extremely pissed off and angry that, for the most part, does not help. One of my favorite options is being able to comfort. For those who are struggling or have just gotten out, do your part. Be there for them. You can be that shoulder for them to lean on for a little bit and help expose them to the world. Be there, celebrate their first birthday, their first holiday with them. Some ex-JWs that I grew up with, I didn't even know were out of the truth, contacted me because of my YouTube videos. I spent Thanksgiving and Christmas with them, and we hang out now. We go and watch movies, and we spend a lot of time together. Not a ton of time, but we spend a lot of time together. It's valuable and meaningful for both of us to reflect, to look back sometimes and go, man, that was messed up. That was crazy what we were thinking and believing and being treated by the Watchtower governing body. But other times it's like, hey, we're free. Let's go grab a drink, or let's go do some worldly stuff, because it's not really that big of a deal, and it's not against the Bible for the most part either. There are a few other options, but I'm going to save those for another YouTube video. I have some really good ideas that I want to share with you guys. And that's kind of where I'm at. It's a double-edged sword. Do I think they should be banned? Partially, yeah. But mainly, no. Because if we ban them, the brainwashing kicks in, and they're going to think the end of the world is coming. For example, I have friends and family that are in the faith. I have several thousand friends and family that I grew up with that I don't speak to anymore because they're shunning me. They won't have me a part of their life at all. And I know that if they're banned and I try to wake them up, or if they're banned now, it's only going to confirm that Satan is attacking the witnesses and the end of the world is coming. But I can continue to educate, expose, and comfort members or ex-members. I know that planting seeds is a challenging thing, but it can be done, and it gets people to start thinking critically over time. Just like this brainwashing happens over time, helping people think for themselves takes time and patience. So those are my thoughts. I thought I would share them with you. I've gotten several emails and some comments about them. And if this information gets you guys thinking and talking, please leave some comments and questions down below. Please try to keep them friendly. So I love that you guys, especially on my channel, really try to keep things friendly and uplifting with each other. It makes me happy to know that I'm surrounded by an audience and a following that is cool. This is a bunch of cool people. I put people first. So leave a comment below. Definitely leave a like, a thumbs up on the video. That lets me know that what I'm doing is helpful. And it gives me the courage to keep moving on, keep making videos, keep reaching out, and subscribe. Definitely keep subscribing. You can take a look on my channel. I just got this new thing, playlists. You can see certain beliefs. I've got videos on moving on with your life and moving forward and what to focus on to help you rebuild your life. I've got videos on exposing the lies and letting go of limiting beliefs. Check that out on my channel. Make sure to subscribe. And brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video.